All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming in October 15th, 2019, and you can make a lot of money in this stock market right now. We're going to talk about exactly why, with earnings right around the corner and where the market is actually positioned coming off of all of this trade deal stuff. We saw what happened on Friday. We gave it up as the market was digesting that. We have that play-by-play, but now seeing where it's at here in the move today, we did have Columbus Day. The bond market was closed, and again, we saw literally it was like a slow melt up, kind of doing nothing. But today's move was important, and now moving forward from here and kind of how the market's positioned, this is going to set up a unique opportunity. So I want to talk about what to do here with earnings and how to position yourself, both playing the earnings as well as the global catalyst with the deal. A lot of news today was there's pretty much two pieces had to do with China and the back and forth between China doesn't trust the U.S. is going to come through. The U.S. isn't going to come through with China. There's no deal inked. That is going to be important. But then the next level two is how the market is preparing coming into earnings. So I want to talk about that and make sure you guys are set up and smart about how to move forward here. So let us not delay. We're going to cover that. Got your keys for tomorrow and the plays we made today as well too. So you know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We are going to be live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description and also pinned in the comments. That is the live streaming channel. We want to see you there in the morning. We're going to cover this pre-market and throughout the day. But the most important thing you need to do, post your watch list below. Let us know what you're looking at. If you have earnings coming up and you're in something, even if you're in a play and it's down maybe, and you could give us an idea and context so people could be able to say, hey, maybe that's a good play. Maybe someone just bought it at a different time and that's why we could profit off it. But source that information and let's get into it. So right off the bat, here are the keys for tomorrow. And, we could quickly talk about what this was today, where the market had low volume today. It's still pricing in this uncertainty of a deal. That's kind of what I talked about here as we open. And the market's still kind of saying, well, is there a deal in place? Is there not? How is this going to play out? And it's leading to a weird scenario because now the markets are really pricing in, Mnuchin said something needs to be signed soon. So did Xi Zhuan, or the Global Times editor in China. Both have kind of gave mixed signals here. So that's going to be important to watch. And you kind of see the market stuck in there. But future expectations are going to be key, both with the rates and everything, and that's what these earnings could do too. But a big move could be right around the corner, either up or down. So there's that is adding part of it mixed with trade, but also in conjunction with the markets looking for earnings and this deal clarification. So this is important to be looking for. Now, this is the main thing where I'm saying you guys can make a lot of money in this market. You got to be smart, and this is what I'm challenging you guys to do today is make up your mind. So this is, I'm going to skip to this one here because I need you guys to think in terms of where we're at in earnings coming out 2-3 weeks from now. You're starting to get some companies. We're seeing how the market's reacting to some of them, and you're going to see bigger earnings here. So this is a pretty awkward quarter, I would say, because it's Q3. It's not the final quarter. It's not the beginning quarter. Q2 and Q3 are kind of awkward a little bit, but Q3 could prep a lot of stuff for guidance. A lot of people think about it. You guys like to say how there's Christmas and this and that and all coming up. That's going to come from Q3 here, so it's not going to happen after or a month before Christmas. It's going to start by pricing in the guidance here. But this is important. We have all of these big companies, but they're going to be 2 to 3 weeks out. You see where the market's at. We pull this up on the daily. You could see kind of where we're positioned. You could see, it's either going to melt up towards the top or it's going to come back down in this volatility, especially during earnings. So that being said, I need you guys to prepare and plan right now. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to make up your mind today. Don't be saying, I'm going to play earnings. I'm not going to play earnings. And then a week or two now, things change. And again, maybe, it is better to be late than wrong and wait a little bit. But at the same time, I don't want you guys to force things and get in and wait for some of this clarification when you could have that foresight right here, right now, today. So my plan and my strategy is if there's something I want to play, I'm going to put half in now and then half in the day or week or so before they report, so we could start scaling in now if it starts making a move up. And I'm going to show you guys, because I did a play on Amazon today, I'm going to show you guys how that's kind of going to play out here. You think in these terms so that you could scale in half now, and then if you're wrong and the market moves totally against your position, you could see what it's pricing in the day before and go from there, and boom, you're still in the play. But at least you were able to even profit off of a potential big move in pricing into earnings today versus it making that big move and then you're kind of late to the party and then all the crazy plays are expensive and then you're just paying a huge premium. So watch out for that. Or if you're not going to to play them. If you're going to, and think you're going to hold out, just do that right now and say, I'm going to wait till either the week before or the day before. And even then, don't even play it then. Say, I'm going to wait till it reports afterwards and go from there. Or if you wanted to sell the premium on the day before, so think about that now. If you want to buy, you got to start kind of acting now and scaling in, because options could move. As far as selling premium, if you want to play that strategy of seeing what the market makers are pricing in and going after those condors or whatever it may be, you want the IV and the prices to get expensive. That will benefit you. So you sell when it's high, you want to buy when it's cheap. So hopefully that helps you guys understand, when do I buy, when do I sell. But make your mind up today. And then at the end of the day, too, we're going to have Netflix, Bank of America, a lot of the banks tomorrow. Watch for pricing of options before earnings. So see how they're pricing in. Johnson & Johnson, they're going to report tomorrow morning. That was a good example. They were pricing in about 1/8% of a move. So watch what it prices in before and watch what it does afterwards, and watch the implied volatility after and how that is all going to play out. So that's going to be important. I think you guys should keep an eye out for that. And that is pretty much it. So come on the live stream, ask questions if you have them. We're going to be going over this. It is earnings mode. It is starting. I want you guys to be smart. Let's see. This is where we can make some big moves and take advantage of a lot of different things, especially now. Like I said, we got global catalysts at the same time, so it's going to be a little bit confusing. Not as confusing as the trade deal, but it's going to at least create opportunities for movements, and that is what we could really take advantage of. So the biggest thing here, controlling your risk, having your budget laid out, and control the FOMO. Relax. If you miss one, cool, chalk it up. We are going to at least walk away hitting a crazy play here in the next month. I'm pretty certain of that. You just got to let it come to you and don't force it. So let us get into the plays. As far as what we did today, I will start with the first trade I made, Amazon. I bought a debit spread coming into earnings. Now, I am a little disappointed in myself because it only covers earnings and then 2 days after, but the goal was try to get as much money, as close to the money as possible. So as far as that play, it was an October 25th, 1817, 1822 call for $110. See, whoa. No way. If someone got filled at 62, that's wild. But you can see the ask is a little bit high here. It was around 105. It went up, 120 at one point as it was going up. But Amazon even started running up on news that they might even acquire Fresh Direct. But I like it. I've talked about this in the past. We've seen Amazon. We've seen Apple. I'll throw those up here. You guys can see Apple has gone up. Even Facebook, and these are going to be ones to watch, but they're not taking as much importance right here because Amazon is going to be the one that companies might rotate to. So if Apple doesn't do good, or if Apple runs up into earnings and has a muted reaction, I wouldn't be surprised to see people rotate into here. We could look at some of the data like consumer spending and all that, and there is positive signs pointing to a good earnings report with Amazon. And a lot of people are bearish on it, which is even making it more of a contrarian. But if anything, I'm looking for a rotation. They have been rotated out of as far as tech goes this last quarter, this last 3 months. So watch where they're at. They're at the bottom range. And this is why I bought it here, because this is what I'm saying of that anticipation into earnings. I'm going to buy half now, and then maybe I might even sell a spread, and we'll see what we could do to negate that play, because $100 is pretty decent amount there, but not too cheap. That play too has a max risk or max gain of $500, so we either lose 100 or make 500. But the key is I'm hoping that coming in prior to earnings, if things are positive or if it has good news, it's going to go 817 is pretty much right back up here, and you can see where Facebook's at. That'd be like Facebook coming back to 190. So even if it moves up halfway, that could be good. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them make, and they've done that before on their last earnings, or it was their earnings, not the last earnings. They actually dropped before coming down, but they kind of had a run up there. You could see literally about 2 weeks prior, it went 1907 to 2000. That's a $100 move, but somewhere here, I think it was April 22nd around here, it literally did 1870 again to like 1930, so $50-$60, and then it had its earnings report. So we'll see, but the fact is, they're kind of more at the lower point, but again, too, they're near where they've priced some of these last earnings. So we'll look more into it, but I don't think a $100 move essentially at this point, it's like $80 from where it's at now. That could be done in a few days, surprisingly, or 2 weeks. So again, that contract covers earnings, but the thing I don't like about it, it costs a lot of money. It's $100 up front. If the stock moves a lot from there, it could be further from the money, and in general too, it only has 2 days after earnings. So essentially, if it does not make a close move prior to earnings, or even if it reports and it's not in the money, we lose on that play. So depending on the situation, I might sell before earnings, or if it looks solid, we'll take it after. The plan is, hopefully my optimal situation, it gets in the money and max gain before earnings, so then we could sell out and then make another play as far as the earnings report is concerned. So there's that play. But before I tell you guys the other play we made, Actually, I think that was the only play we made today, and then I have some plays that I'm going to be looking at tomorrow, but we made the first trades in the long-term portfolio. You guys know I'm a killer long-term investor. That's why, we made 75 cents today. So we making real big moves out here. I think I'm going to sell you a DVD on it. If you're interested, it's called Long Term in Part 10. But no, in all seriousness, though, we made the plays. These are the ones we talked about in the video. If you guys didn't see it, it has a kind of clickbaity title, but I'm excited because I'm going to hold these for years. This is my new savings account. I'm starting small. I want to highlight what you could do with the small amount of money, even long-term portfolio at the top. We're going to be adding to this account. So, just get ready. You guys are going to see these over the years. I can't wait to look back at this. Hopefully, you guys can follow along too, and this inspires you to save your money and be smart with it. And I'm praying for you all, man. You know about that prayer wall. I got you. I got some. We got you, baby. Let's go. But we made the trades. I bought 3 shares of IRM, the real estate trust, 1 share of Spotify, and 2 shares of AT&T. And the companies I still want to buy left, I still got $201. I'm going to put $100 each into Snapchat and Altria. So those are the other ones I want to buy here, but I thought we'd buy these. Snapchat, I might wait a little bit till earnings or before. I'm kind of a little conflicted on that, so we'll see. And then Altria, I think I might pick up Altria tomorrow, but again, we're going small with these. I don't plan on selling these. These are just little by little. So hopefully you guys are able to see that. That was fun. And then as far as everything else, these are what I want to watch tomorrow. McDonald's, this is the play I wanted to make. I was kind of unsure about it today. I wanted to see. They weren't too good, but they were decent with kind of how things are. And again, they have earnings on the 23rd, so you got to watch out. I was even thinking maybe October 18th play, so it'd be a weekly. I'm going to be looking to how it moves tomorrow. If it goes down any more in the morning or has a gap up and comes down, I want to look for how it moves, but I'm going to be looking to either sell. Let me throw up the vertical spreads here. So not diagonals, vertical, so you can see it here. You could sell the 210, 212 put for 182. I like this one, but 212 seems kind of far for that to fall out. Again, I don't know how big it'll bounce, but I think maybe because, again, 212.50, it did not break out of that last week, or it barely did, so watch that. But if anything, I'm hoping it does drop a little bit more so that these could get a higher credit, like a 160, 150, and I'm going to look to sell those 207, 210s, or the 210, 27, so sell the 210, buy the 207. It's saying $122, so I'd like a little bit more credit. But I do want to sell a put here because, again, we still have those Home Depots, and we have a lot of those call spreads already, or again, some of those neutral plays that are more bearish because of how high the market went up. So I do want to sell some puts, but I don't want to get caught in the middle or get caught losing on both. So watch out for that. I like that one. Crowd, they had a big drop today, and again, they kind of had a big bounce off the bottom, came up and gave a lot back. So those November plays, we are still holding that. If you guys remember that crowd play, we bought that a while ago, and this was part of kind of the move here. We got the cheap November ones. We bought these for 30 cents. They're trading at 45 to 60. So you guys remember they went from 30 to 80. They dropped, and now they're back up. So this one could either be a good one to sell premium on, or if it starts dropping, you might get to see that one frog a little bit there. But considering it has time, there's still a little. You could already see it's already, the couple days ago would have been when you could have frogged it, but it never really dropped below that 30 price too hard. So keep an eye out for that one. I think that one's going to be interesting along those same lines. Beyond's dropping too, and now this was a spread I was interested in. And I want to look into him to see if we could get him cheaper, but it was like a Beyond 108 111 spread. So let me throw that up here so you guys could see. And this one would have been a debit spread. So this one, I'm not looking at this one in the sense of buying this. And again, the thing I don't like about this is October 18th, but this one would be buying instead of selling credit. And this one's only showing you dollar per dollar. So this is, and again, if you wanted to play some of these weeklies here, you guys could see with the spread. Like some of these have an ask of like 14 cents. So if it drops $10 this week, you could make $14 turns into 100. That's not too bad. And now that I'm thinking about that, that might even be better. If you could just get 2 of these, it'd be $28. That's on the ask. And your max gain would be $200. But the one I was interested in was just a straight buy the 111, sell the 108. And it was like a 25-cent debit at the time when I looked at it this morning. And I think right now, you bought at 51, sold at 38. That's like $13 right now. So you could get that there for 13 cents. So again, it's kind of the same play, but if you could get closer to the money, that'd be a little bit better. But I'm going to watch those. It's dropping big. It's at a key level now. So if it's not getting the same attention, but if that keeps dropping, that's going to be important. Then moving back up to here, Boeing, it had a pretty big move today. They said stuff about the 737 in Southwest. They said it's going to return to flight February. I mean, you could take that with a grain of salt. I think there's going to be news, but again, it's bouncing in between these ranges. So this is either going to be good for a condor, and again, this has two opportunities here. You could either play the buy side and play it on the buy side to try to get one of these moves up or down, or we wait. This is what happened. Remember, we played it here last time, and then it moved up against us, and then finally came down. But you could just wait till it makes a direction from here and then sell a spread or a condor. But I think Boeing's at an interesting level. I'm going to keep my eye out for that. We said watch Amazon. We made that play. And then lastly, Starbucks. I think coming into the earnings, you know, they gave up a lot, but they're kind of now at that same level. They have earnings next week. They could be pretty decent. We've seen how McDonald's and some of those other stocks have done. So I'm kind of a fan here, and I want to be able to look, but I'm not going to get too jumpy on it, but keep my eye out for that. So those are the main plays I'm going to be watching. But moving on here, watch Facebook as well too. But I'm surprised kind of how it moved in conjunction with Apple and that it didn't really break off too much. So watch there too, because if it does come down, I mean, we're rolled over and that we're kind of stuck in there. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to keep a loose eye on there. Same thing with Apple too. I mean, they're just being a behemoth, and this is what I talked about for them coming in earnings. I think they're going to just keep going up, or if anything, they might come up, and then on earnings, they come down a little bit, or earnings comes out, and it could be good earnings, but since it's already moved up so much into the earnings, this is what I'm even saying with Amazon. It's already pricing that earnings in. You see how this has already made such a big move. That's what I'm expecting for Amazon and some of these. So this is people buying it up now. So instead of the stock moving, you know, in Amazon's case, instead of it moving $200 on earnings, it'll move $100 coming into earnings, and then, or $150, and then maybe move $50 on earnings. So the more this comes up, the more muted of a reaction there's going to be. But watch for them to give up. I mean, watch how they play and how they go with the market. I mean, they're definitely been a leader, but watch them. Then tomorrow, watch Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan with the banks. So Wells Fargo, Bank of America will be good. They'll be cheaper ones. We might be able to do a continuation play on those too. But some of these plays, like I remember last time, JP Morgan really surprised, and it had a monstrous move here. So you could even see, comparing this to some of the bank stocks, JPM's position nice. So I really like where they're at. I'm going to watch them. Then Netflix, they report on Wednesday. And as you guys see here, 266 to 280, that's that pre-earnings move I'm telling you about. This is what I'm saying. This is where you can make a lot of money, especially with where we're at in the market. So keep an eye out for that. And even then, even as I'm talking this, I think, let me check the news here. I'm not seeing anything, but markets are moving up as we're making this video here. So that's pretty interesting. But watch Netflix, watch how those are in earnings. And then lastly, Nvidia, I like where it's at here. And then this was another play I was looking at. I'm going to keep my eye on this Nvidia. It's a weekly. I think you might be able to do a better debit spread for earnings if you want time on it. That's one possibility. If you want to gamble a little bit here, we could go for some of these short terms. It was the 192. So this one, look at this. I said this in the morning now, and it's good because even though it's shot up here, if it gaps up, this will go crazy tomorrow. So watch this in the morning. Let's call this out for sure. But $60. So my philosophy, if you guys have seen this, a fair price on some of these Nvidias, it's about $6 out of the money for 60 cents. So this one here, 186.79, add $6, that'll take you to 192. You'll be in the money. It's holding $60. This is a fair price. So if it gets cheaper than that, that could be good. And the fact is, you have the whole week, and it's right there. It's approaching highs, and if it goes there, you know, it could be primed to break out if there is bullishness. So I like that. I like where it's at. Keep your eye on that one. And that's it for there. And then finally, our final chart here, Roku and Shopify. I like Roku, not as much though as I like Shopify, but watch to see now if it does start to come down here. If it does come down tomorrow, we might be setting up a different range here. And just notice, see how it comes down, because it's either going to reflect something like this, or it's going to reflect something like this and come up. And again, it doesn't have to do that, but that's what I'm going to keep my eyes on for. And again, we haven't played it in a few weeks, so it might be good to kind of come back here. But keep it on watch. And then Shopify, I like it. It's getting very bullish there in the earnings. It could be a good one for either debit spreads, because it's been beaten down. It's getting the volume, and then maybe it's going to do what Roku did last week, as Roku kind of gives up. But I was even looking to sell some credit spreads on there on the put side. So sell some put spreads. Give us a less risk-aversive way to profit on the upside without being specific. But we're going to see. Remind me about that one in the morning. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure you drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Be positive, be respectful. Keep your head in the game. You know, I'm like I said earlier, man, I'm praying for some of y'all. So I want y'all to keep the hope, keep the faith. This is going to be a very cool time with earnings coming into this quarter. We're going to wrap up the year, so be smart. You guys have seen what happened from, I think the trade meeting was a good pregame to hopefully you got all that, get all the jitters out, you know, all the trade war and all that. Now you guys can see control the budgets. Things are going to happen. Let it come to us. Let's spot these opportunities. There's going to be opportunities across the board. When one thing's moving, you may miss it, but there's going to be something right there, right across the corner. Remember, you got a week after that, a week out of that. Just stay in the game, control the budget, space it out. You're going to be good, baby. So let's go.